Okay. Alright, guys. Hello. Welcome back. Somebody asked me a really good question. How do I personally know when Loki's there? Well, I know now because I tried to start this video a couple times and I kept going off into the story of what happens when I'm recording video games. That I know he's there because all the equipment goes bad and I'm yelling at Loki and I'm like, Loki, go away. You get all this attention at night, go away, da 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 da. And I couldn't figure out why I kept telling this story, and finally I'm like, oh, you're here. Hi, sweetheart. And as soon as I did that, it was like, okay, you've acknowledged how badly you treat me. I'm happy. But, I very, very rarely feel a physical presence. In fact, I only felt a physical presence and saw a physical, like, in our real manifestation once. And that was during extreme emergency when our college dorm was on fire. Well, it was a small fire, but still, there was a fire. And there was smoke going through the building, and someone is shaking my shoulders. And I look up and I see this completely jet black form, like somebody in a morph suit. And he's saying my name, and he's saying my name, and he says, you have to get up, you have to get up, you have to get out of here. And you know, it's like the middle of the night, and I've got class in the morning, and I'm like, ugh. He's like, you have to get up, you have to leave. So I got up and I left, and I didn't see him after that. I kind of vaguely felt a presence with me, and that's usually what I feel. Like, I'll vaguely feel like a presence with me. Like, if you grew up Catholic and you work with like a guardian angel or a saint, it's kind of the same vague presence. Like, you kind of just, you know they're there. You don't feel them taking up physical space. Maybe you know more in your mind. And the person said, do you see him? If I want to see him when I'm discussing with him, my mind kind of manufactures something, I think, so I see a figure. But it's not like he appears, you know, like a hologram or something in the real world. It's more like I'm seeing something in my mind. Usually I know he's here because I will be doing stuff and stuff will act up. And not just like the way stuff acts up during the day in your house. When you have Loki, he will pick very specific things with you, and you will know it's him. With me, he likes to break lamps, or make them come off and on. That's his special talent with me. We thought we had a ghost. And he will play with the flames of his candle. And it won't be like a rhythmic thing, like you can tell, oh, a gust of wind or like air or something is coming through this old house. It will be you, the candle flame will suddenly be way up there, and you'll be looking at like, wow, that don't happen every day. True story, I once walked into a church for a funeral on the other side of the family, and at this point it was just me and my mom. And I could feel the hostility of that side of the family, because they always hated my mother and they hated me. Do you know when I walked into that church and I was getting closer to where we had to sit, the flames on both of the funeral candles went like 3 feet up in the air, literally. They would just whoosh. And at the time I thought it was maybe Ogu or Baron or something, but we all know who likes to play with fire. our little pyromaniac. So yeah, or sometimes he'll move something. I'll be working here and something will fall off the altar. And now he has like, I'm sure he wants you to know this update. He has like plushies up here now. He was like, put the plushies up there, that way your voice isn't going to be snapping off the wall right beside you. And I think probably Odin wants his part moved too, so. Yeah, it's like so much fun. They decide they want something and then they don't want it and then they want it moved, or they'll say, well, that was your idea. So I don't know. I never know. But yeah, sometimes it's just a vague feeling that he's there. Sometimes he will do something for my attention. He'll make the equipment stop working, or a thought will keep getting in my head, or you kind of feel like a nudge. Not like a physical nudge, but you kind of like feel like a nudge. And it doesn't happen all the time. I get pretty engrossed in my work, and I completely forget about Loki and everything else. The outside world is gone. I am just in that work. I kind of have to be, because I'm talking to people as I'm recording the game. And when I first started out, I would let my thoughts kind of like randomly float around, and I would be making these real strange recordings. So I kind of had to get discipline to be playing the game and talking to people at the same time, which is not always the easiest thing, because sometimes you kind of have to be quiet and listen. It doesn't always work. Let's play. But yeah, so a lot of times what I do with my work, and I'm sure it's the same for you guys, I can't really be in contact with him as much as I'd like, but he's usually pretty good, though. Every so often he will sneak in there, and he will see if he can get me to mention the word Loki on the other channel. That is his main goal, because I separated them on purpose. I tried to have an all-in-one channel one time, and those people got really upset, and a lot of them left the channel and never came back. And so I started a pagan channel, and I think I had people coming over here, and I had to block some because they were being really immature, and it was like, well, this channel is not for you. If you like gaming, that's fine, be on the other channel, but this channel isn't for you. You can't come over here and complain because it's not Christian. That's why I separated the channels, because I was getting like too much heat. But now he's like, he will try to distract me during games and see if he can get me to mention him, because, you know, he's like all of 2 or 3. But I hope that helped. It's not, it's very rarely do I see anything apparate. In fact, that time in the fire was the only time I saw like a physical apparition I could really see, and could feel. I'll vaguely sometimes feel someone touch me, but it will be very brief, like fingertips in your hair or something like that. And you know me, I'm logical. I'll always write it off to something like, oh, my hair moved. Oh, I'm wearing something that touched my hair, or I'm in bed and somehow my hair moved or something. And I usually write it off, but yeah, everyone has something different. But that's how it works for me. It's not like, he constantly comes in here and pulls up a chair physically. I wish he would. I'd put him to work. He knows it too. I'd be like, yeah, well, if you could sit down, you pick up a broom. Chop, chop. Yeah, I'm gonna get it for later. Yeah. Hey, he's a hearth god. He's supposed to be neat and clean. But anyhow, yeah, that's how it works for me. It doesn't work that way for everyone. So, and I know, I'm staring at my hair. I'm like a little guppy. But I will see you guys later. I hope this video finds you well. And I'm thinking about cleaning because the New Year's coming up, and I kind of like to have the house nice and tidy for the New Year. So for Loki, if he could, I would rope him into it, and he would be doing some of it as well. That's my Loki fantasy, Loki cleaning the house. Okay, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.